How well does this stuff work?
It works like clockwork. It's a powerful, reliable tool. It's been crafted not even by CIA. It was crafted by MI6 before us. They taught it to us. We've coordinated with the Five Eyes. If you don't know what the Five Eyes are, the Five Eyes are Canadian intelligence, United States intelligence, UK intelligence, Australian intelligence, and New Zealand intelligence. We're kind of 5 allies that share transparency in all of our intel training, human intelligence practices, tradecraft practices, operations, etc. So it's called the Five Eyes, or the Five Eyes Alliance. And we've all shared information to make sure that we are the best, most capable intelligence services in the world when it comes to human intelligence.
Okay.
We don't have the same kind of viciousness and authority to kill that you see in Israel. We also don't have the kind of ability to leverage digital surveillance against our own people like you see in the Emirates or like you see in China. So there's different authorities,
right,
but according to Western democratic practices, we're the best that we can be.
How does Russia rank in there?
Russia's SVR is an offshoot directly from KGB, and they are extremely skilled at penetrating foreign intelligence and foreign governments. That's why just a week ago you saw two contractors supporting classified U.S. naval research compromised to an unknown foreign country. You've seen doctors in the Army in the last month get arrested on espionage charges for working with Russia, right? Russia's very actively penetrated the U.S. military, the U.S. intelligence infrastructure, the FBI, CIA. It's well known, it's well published, because they understand us very well. They understand how we think, they understand our vulnerabilities. Americans have some very obvious human flaws.
Like what? Ego? What?
Like ego, like greed, sexual repression. We believe that we are always right, so we have this fundamental flaw in getting attention. We want attention all the time. It's that weird sort of like superstar status. We're nobody, but we still want everybody to pay attention to us.
As individuals.
As individuals.
Interesting.
Right. Russian culture doesn't celebrate the individual. American culture does. So just imagine how easy it is to get an American, talk them up, brag about how smart and beautiful and handsome they are, and all that American wants to do is hang out with you. You're like, oh, you're my friend who makes me feel good. Like, now I don't have to be the wingman for this handsome guy. You'll be the wingman for me because I'm so cool and you get it. Now that's the person that you're going to invite to every family event and every Thanksgiving dinner. And when something happens in your life where your boss pisses you off, or when you don't get the promotion you're looking for, you're going to take it to your best friend and say, can you believe it, man? I'm the one that does everything for this company. I'm the one that knows everything about the engineering department. And I'm the only one that has access to certain networks, and they're not even going to give me my $10,000 promotion. And then that person's like, in the open market, in the free market economy, somebody out there would probably pay you $25,000 for your information. You want me to go find somebody who would do that? Yeah, you know what? That would be awesome. Like, that's how it happens.
Okay. And this person's American?
In that example, like, Americans are very easy to compromise.
Right. By another American, or by a Russian who looks like an American?
Exactly.
Do they have those?
Absolutely. That's another thing that the Russians do better than us. Russians have what's known as deep seed operations. So they'll seed somebody from a young age into a culture specifically to master the local language, master the mannerisms, have a very real career history someplace. If you've met or heard of Jack Barsky, he was one of those original deep cover officers for Russia.
Okay.
Back in like the 80s.
Right, I've heard of that. So they are good at that.
And we don't do that because guess what? Our budgetary cycle rotates on 5 years.
Right.
It takes a lot longer than 5 years to run a seeding operation.
And maybe there's some humanitarian concerns as well. You don't put teenagers in there. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so interesting. All right, so this is the way you compromise. And do you feel like once you learn these skills and you went into the real world, you're like playing with toddlers sometimes? You just walk in, or is it not always that easy?
Yeah, it's not always that easy because again, people have different nexuses of control. So as an example, I'm sure you've met people who are extremely faith-based. right?
Yes.
Very, very faith-based. It's very hard to take control away from someone's faith. Because if they believe God or they believe nirvana or they believe whatever they believe, it's hard to shift that nexus to something you can take control of. But when you're dealing with somebody who the person they worship is themselves, or the thing that they worship is their wife, or the thing that they worship is their business, it's much easier to manipulate that person, because you can very clearly draw a line to how helping you helps them achieve their goal in the other thing, right? So some people are just more malleable than other people. It doesn't mean that anyone is bulletproof. It's really about the energy and time investment that you have to make to take control of somebody else. That's where it becomes an economic model.
Okay.
Right? If you're trying to, it's the same thing with customer acquisition. If you were to apply it to a business, if a business wants to acquire a certain customer, then it has to ask itself the question, how much time and how much investment does it take to acquire a customer, a CPA, a cost per acquisition? If the cost per acquisition is too high, then they actually change the kind of customer that they target. If the cost per acquisition is sustainable, then they'll just, all day long, they'll just keep tagging the right customer and bringing them in, because they know that customer is going to be worth a certain amount of revenue. So it's a very mathematical model, just like that, where if you want someone to help you, if you need someone to close a deal, make a hire, give you a promotion, buy your product, it really is just a matter of being able to identify those people, have a minimum investment, and getting them to take a specific action that benefits you. It's not always total life control like we had at CIA. It's more of controlling a very specific decision that you want someone to make.
Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I am just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just an overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.